Today we're going to take a few minutes and do a quick little what's in the bag and show you guys the ever-evolving clubs that I carry around. Alright, so I have taken a huge step back from playing golf in the last couple of years. I think I've only played 10 rounds in the last year, and when I was really playing a lot, there was a lot of weeks where I would play 10 rounds. I had lots of 36-hole days, huge amounts of time at the range, all kinds of stuff like that, but walking away from the game a little bit, my golf swing has really deteriorated, and I almost feel like I'm starting back at zero. Anyways, I have been bouncing around lots of different clubs in here. I have 3 sets of irons, or actually I just sold a set, so I have 2 right now. I got a whole bunch of hybrids and fairway woods and driving irons and all kinds of stuff like that, but I'm going to go ahead and show you what the current setup is right now. First of all, starting with the putter, I have got a red ball from Odyssey. As I've mentioned in another video, I kind of got fitted for this. This is kind of an odd setup. This putter has like a little ball where, like, once you line it up and can see it straight, then that's your ideal lineup spot. I've also got a jumbo max grip on here, which is pretty unique for being on a putter. Overall, this has really helped me out lately, and I would say my putting definitely has been better than it has been in the last couple of years. So for now, I am definitely going to be running with that. Next up, I have got wedges, and I've got a little bit of an odd setup here. I got down to a 4 handicap briefly, but realistically I'm about a 7 when I'm playing a lot. Right now I'm probably like a 20 because I have not been playing, and you're going to see a couple aspects of this set of clubs that you wouldn't really expect to see in a high handicapper's bag. Starting with this wedge, which is a 62 degree. These are Mizuno S18s. Typically, I don't use this club that much. It's going to be great out of bunkers. You know, if there's a fluffy lie, something like that, I will definitely go ahead and use it. Next up is a 56 in the same clubs. These are, by the way, Modus 105 wedge shafts that I have in here. Those Modus 105s I had in a different set of clubs as well. My other irons, those are the Mizuno MP18 SCs. And then I've got the 50 degree here as well. This is an area where I'm probably going to switch this up. Probably gonna go back to like a 52, 58 or something like that. I kind of would like to free up a club spot on the other end, and in the past I've played 52, 58, and I really liked it, and I think that's probably where I belong. Next up, we're gonna go to irons. These are the Titleist AP2 718s. These have the AMT, they're the True Temper AMT S300 shafts, and AMT I think means Ascending Mass Technology, so the 3-iron shaft is a little bit softer than the pitching wedge shaft. I have found that the long irons in this set of irons is by far the most playable of any set of clubs I've ever had. Oddly enough, this 3-iron off the tee is one of my best clubs. Absolutely goes for miles, super easy to hit, and you know, I've tried to play around with some other sets. I recently had the Mizuno JPX 900 forged, as well as the Mizuno MP18 SCs, and these irons definitely beat those two out. Next up is a club that usually is in the bag. For the most part in the last year, I've been playing all of these clubs up to 3-iron, and then I'll go 2-iron and driver. These fairway woods I'll go through and show you. They've all kind of been on the naughty list, and at some point they have worked great for me, but right now Definitely not. So this here is my TaylorMade P790. It's the 2-iron. Forget the exact loft, but I think they're pretty strong. This has the hazardous smoke 6.5 shaft in it. This thing, when you hit it, the amount of distance that you get is just ridiculous. I've had this thing roll out to 280, 260, 270 lots of times. And, a lot of that's going to be roll. But in terms of just point-to-point distance on, fairly firm fairways, this is an amazing club. And the other thing I like about it is the misses are going to be a lot better than they would be off of a fairway wood. You don't get those big balloon ball slices into the trees and that kind of thing. This one's typically going to be a low duck hook, which is a terrible miss, but I think overall this club is a little bit better off the tee, but you do give up a lot off the deck. I wouldn't really be hitting this off a fairway that much. It would have to be a pretty fluffy lie, and even then it's not going to be ideal. First up, I have got the Cobra F8 Plus. This is a 4-to-5 wood, they call it. Currently playing it at 16, which I think is the strongest setting. I at times have gotten along with this club unbelievably well. This has got a 75 gram extra stiff Aldila, I forget what the exact model is, maybe NV or something like that, whatever that stuff is. This thing, like I say, has been a spectacular club for me at times, but currently I'm really fighting a big, huge slice at the moment, and it's really making this club a little bit frustrating to play with. Next up, I've got the same one, but in they call it a 3-4. But this one goes down to actually 12 degrees, and I have played it like that. If the driver is misbehaving off the tee, I have had success with this thing in the past, but I really haven't played it much in the last couple of years. It's absolutely filthy. Probably could use a bit of a bath. And then next up is another Cobra. This is the Cobra F7. I believe this is the one Rick Shields played with for years. I think he called it his old Bluey. This one has a stiff shaft, which I'm not crazy about. This one I have actually played down at 13 degrees a fair bit as well. And at times I've pulled the shaft out of this one and put it in there, and have liked that. I would say this one's a little friendlier off the deck of these two. Maybe just a little bit bigger head or whatever, but overall, like I say, these three woods are definitely on the naughty list right now. Next up, going to driver. I actually just put this in the bag. A couple years ago when I was playing a lot, I had a TaylorMade M2D type, and that was the 2017 TaylorMade, I believe. Best driver I've ever experienced. I basically had a one-way miss. I would usually either pull it a little bit or fade so I could kind of aim up the left side, and it really went a long way towards getting my handicap down. But unfortunately it broke. TaylorMade had a lot of issues with that. I had 4 TaylorMade clubs break within a pretty small time frame. 2 drivers and 2 fairway woods, and that was pretty frustrating because the fairway woods was the TaylorMade M2 Tour, which is by far the best club I've ever owned, but unfortunately they just kept breaking, so it is what it is. Anyways, when the M2 D type broke, I still had the shaft with the TaylorMade end on it, so I tried a TaylorMade M4 D type. I just hated it. I played it for a couple of years, and I think it went a long way towards ruining the game for me because I just, I don't know, I just could not get a hold of it. I had to put I usually play with a extra stiff Aldila Phenom, I believe it's called, and 70 gram extra stiff. I actually went up to the 70 gram Tour X, I believe it is. I think it's another 70 from the same brand, just hoping to kind of get the spin down and make me love the driver, and unfortunately I just didn't. And like I say, I think it went a long way towards ruining the game for me. Getting off the tee is really important. I don't play that much anymore, but pretty much all of my buddies are, you know, single digit handicap or scratch or whatever. So when you're just constantly slicing things off the tee and screwing up, I just, for whatever reason, I just could never play with that driver. So recently traded a couple of clubs, and the guy gave me this. This is an M3. It's the 440, which is a bit smaller. I have played a couple times with it. It came with a stiff shaft, which I figured I would try, and it was going well at the driving range, but I have a really jerky transition in my swing, and it requires me to have a really beefy shaft when there's a club that has a heavy end on it. And so, you know, it just ended up not really working with the stiff that came with it, but I still had this old shaft. This was the one, this Aldilla Phenom. This was the one that I got down to 4 handicap with, and I have had 1 range session so far. I have not played a round of golf yet, but overall, I think I like it in there. If this doesn't work out, I might just sell. I got a few TaylorMade shafts, and I still have the other M4. I might just sell everything and maybe go a different direction, but for now, we will give it a try. This is a 9 degree, as you can see, and so far, cautiously optimistic. Anyways, though, that is the lineup of clubs that's currently in there. I have a bunch in there just because I was at the range trying stuff out, but as it's going right now, most likely I would pull the 3 fairway woods out and just go kind of putter to 2 iron and then a driver. I just feel like off the tee it's the best, and I do lose a bit on those long shots coming in on a par 5 by not having a good fairway wood or hybrid to hit off the deck, but the 4 iron is still super playable on a fairly tight lie, and the 3 iron, you know, with even a little bit of fuzz, I can definitely hoist that thing up and hit some decent shots with it. So anyways, that's what I got in there. The bag is a Mizuno bag, which is hilarious. I don't have really any Mizuno clubs in there anymore except the wedges. At one time I had wedges, hybrids, irons, everything like that, and pretty funny how things change. In terms of what's in here, basic sort of stuff. I love this bag, by the way. Got my range finder. This is a Bushnell, forget the model number. This is the Tour V4 Slope Edition, and this is the one that's got the switch. So I used to play in a lot of men's leagues and stuff like that, and I wanted to get into tournaments, but never really got into it that much. But you can turn it off and make it tournament legal. It just turns slope off. So this thing's been great. I've gone through several batteries in it, and definitely love it. So aside from that, I've also got this little Bushnell Phantom. This is just a real dirt cheap little GPS. I think there might actually be an argument that for the average golfer, you're better off playing with a GPS than a rangefinder. Again, when I got down to 4, I'm pretty sure I was playing this, and I think that for a lot of people, it's just best to aim for the center of the green and forget about the exact yardage to the flag. You know, factoring in wind and all that kind of stuff can be challenging, and I think most people are just better off, you know, 2-putting from 30 feet than they are trying to get up and down from off the green from 30 feet. So anyways, that is the basic setup that I got going on right now. I think pretty soon we're going to try and get out on a course and do some course vlog stuff. But anyways, just want to say thanks for coming along. Please help me out and give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.